Hello there, and happy Monday, and welcome to this week's Heart to Heart. I'm your host, Karin Del Maestro, health and transformation coach, breast cancer, BRCA2 thriver, and woo, let's start by having a sip of tea. I don't know about you, but there's so much going around. My husband and I have been traveling. He's actually just getting over the flu, and I'm hoping and praying that I don't get it. So, tea right now is really important. So, if you're coming in, let me know what you're drinking. Are you also having a cup of tea, or do you have something else going on right now? But pop into the chat, say hi, and let me know that you're joining us today. And I have to say, I'm super excited about what we're going to be talking about today because healthy boundaries is something that I didn't always know. And it's something that I learned the hard way. So I'll share a little bit about that in a minute. But I want to start by asking you if you're fed up with constantly pouring into everybody else without having anything left for yourself. If that's you, put a Y in the chat. Now, as we go through breast cancer or any other major trauma or chronic illness, this is a topic that becomes even more important, right? Because our energy level is diminished. It's diminished. And so we need to protect the energy that we have. But learning to set these boundaries and do it in a way that feels good versus something that you feel bad about isn't easy. And as I said, I've learned how to do it the hard way. So I want to start by sharing with you. I have a sip of my tea because apparently I'm having difficulty getting my words out here. A little bit of ginger with some honey. So I want to start by sharing a story. I'm going back 20 years now. Okay, that was the beginning of my journey to setting healthy boundaries. And what happened, I was going through a divorce at the time, had two young children. The kids were 10 and 13. And at this particular time, this was my light bulb moment that something had to change. And I think for many of us, a breast cancer diagnosis is that moment, right? That moment where you realize that you are constantly there for others, that you are constantly giving for others, and yet you might need help now, and you feel disappointed that people aren't showing up for you. I hear that a lot from the hundreds of women that I talk to and work with. So it's 2003. I'm in court, right, going through divorce. And if you've ever been there, you know it's very unpleasant, not something I would wish on anybody. And court was running late that particular day. One of those things that we don't get to control, right? We never know like what's what and who's who. Hi there, Susan from Ohio. You're drinking water. I think it's probably Susan. The name's not coming up. So I'm in court having a hard time. We're running late. And I realized that school pickup, we're not going to be able to get back for school pickup. Horrible feeling as a mom. If you've ever had it, really horrible. It's like, what am I going to do? Well, it was one of those moments where I said, you know what? I know I've got other friends who are picking up from the same school. I'm sure one of them wouldn't mind picking up my kids and hanging on to them for a little while. I didn't know when I was going to be able to get back. So we were on recess from court, not knowing how long we were going to be there. And I called somebody who I thought was a really good friend of mine. And I asked if she would pick up my kids from school, explained, I'm stuck in court. I can't get there. Can you please pick up the kids and hang on to them for however long? Now, this was somebody I'd watched her kids a lot while she got her nails done, while she went shopping, while she went out for a glass of wine with some other friends. Like, I had been there for this friend. Never said no. always just done whatever to be helpful out of the goodness of my heart. And here I am really needing help, which was never easy for me to ask for. And I asked. And the response I got was shocking, hurtful, disappointing. And it actually changed our relationship. And she said, Karin, all you ever do these days is ask for help. No, I can't pick up kids. I was shook. I wonder if you've ever been in this situation, let me know, where you're just so shaken by somebody's response. This wasn't even about me, it was about my kids. I did find somebody to pick up my kids, hold on to them, and everything else. But it was really, like I said, that light bulb moment where I said, I pour into this person, whatever she needs, however I can help her kids, whatever, no questions asked. And here I was truly needing help, needing support, going through a divorce. I'm in court. And the answer was no. And there wasn't a reason no. It was just no because I was asking for help. And so, like I said, it was that light bulb moment. It was that catalyst for, I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to feel resentful of people. I don't want to feel that kind of disappointment and hurt. And so for me, that's where the journey began, to setting healthy boundaries. And was it hard? Yeah. In the beginning, it was hard. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable. But if you want to protect your energy mentally, physically, and emotionally, healthy boundaries are something that we all need. So I want to draw for you a little picture. I'm no artist, as you may know by now. So what we have here is a teapot, okay? And I invite you to think of your body, you, as a teapot. No, very likely that that's the Brit in me coming out, right? And everybody that you pour into, everybody that you take care of, they are your teacups, okay? And I'd like you, let's do a little fun exercise right now. I'd like you to just count up on your fingers. How many people every day do you take care of? How many people are you stressing about? How many people are you thinking about or worrying about? How many people or pets, can be anything, but where are you pouring your energy, which is the level of tea in your pot? Where are you pouring it into? Can be work, can be home, can be family, can be friends, can be any of those things. But I invite you to think about, how many people are you pouring into every single day? Think about that for a second. Where is all of your energy going? And then I want to ask you, are you pouring into you? Were you on that list? Probably not. Probably not, right? And so what happens when we are not able, or we're not currently setting those healthy boundaries, just like I used to? I didn't know how to do it, didn't know how much it really bothered me. But what happens when we're not setting these boundaries is we become resentful, right? Maybe bitter, maybe angry. I was angry at that friend that day. I'll tell you that. It felt really unfair. I don't feel those feelings too often these days because I set my life up with healthy boundaries so that I don't get those feelings. I don't want them. They don't feel good to me. I want a life that feels good, That means taking control, doing things differently, setting your life up differently. Okay. And so we look at where our energy is going all day long. We look at, I like to think of like not setting boundaries as holes in our teapot. And so what happens, that energy is draining out of our teapot. So if we think healthy boundaries are actually the band-aids to block that teapot. We want to block the teapot so that our energy is preserved, so that we've got as much energy as possible to pour into ourselves and then others. Because what we need, right? What tops up our teapot, what gives us more energy is self-care. And self-care is the conscious act that you take to promote your own mental, physical, and emotional health and well-being. So if you are not yet focusing on taking better care of you so that you've got more tea in your pot, so that you can take care of others, this is where it starts. And I've got a very special offer for you at the end of this video today. So hang out with me until the end. I'm going to tell you about a really special event I've got coming up in a couple of weeks that I think you're going to be really interested in. So how do we start to set these boundaries? It's a good question, right? And we're going to be talking about that in this event. It's going to be one of the topics that I cover. And obviously we'll go into more depth, but and here's the thing, right? Most of the time we have a hard time saying no because we don't want to disappoint people. We don't want to let them down. We can go really deep and say it's because we don't want to feel like we're not good enough, because if we're good enough, then we should be able to do it all. Maybe we just don't know how to say no without feeling like we're being mean or rude or disrespectful. And these are all reasons that we can have a hard time saying no. And so often we learn this habit from childhood, right? Not saying no to our parents, being the good girl, following the rules, being hardworking and responsible. These are all things that we learned in childhood. I know I certainly did. That's why I became the person that I did, was because I just thought that's what I was supposed to do. But what I truly believe is that we are supposed to take care of ourselves so that we've got more energy to pour into others, so that we're not feeling bitter and angry and resentful. We get to pour into others. And I've noticed the shift for me in my life over the past 20 years since I've become truly an expert at setting healthy boundaries. I have noticed such a difference in how quickly and easily I'm able to say no. So I shortcut that for you in this event coming up, the New Year's Self-Care Reset, pouring into you at the beginning of the year, helping you set these healthy boundaries, right? That aren't mean, that aren't rude, that aren't disrespectful, but are honest and authentic to you. And especially after a breast cancer diagnosis, no matter where you are, but especially after treatment, when the world is expecting you to just jump back into everything, it's really important that you're able to say no. Now, I know you're wondering, Karin, how? Well, we're going to really dive deep into the how during that special event, but it starts here, right? I want to give you something today, something tangible that you can walk away with and start working on. And then when you join the event, you're going to have that little step up. Awesome, right? So here's the thing I invite you to start being aware of. And it's already there, but you might not have awareness around it. So if you've ever been asked to do something by somebody, let's say you're invited to a family event, you really just don't want to go. Like, you don't want to say no, you feel obligation, but your energy is low and you just know it's going to suck you dry. Or maybe it's out to dinner with a friend that does the same thing, right? We've got those people in our lives. So how do we start to say no, right? So the first thing, right, is to start to be aware of what's going on up here. You're getting the invitation. Somebody's asking you to join a family event, and inside your voice, right, your little inner voice is going, no, 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 I really don't know. I just don't want to. If you ever had that happen, let me know in the chat. But a yes if you have, like where you get that little inner voice and it's like, no, I just don't want to. Or no, I don't have it in me. Right? That, my friend, that is the barometer for when you need to say no. That's it. That is your true, authentic self. That beautiful woman inside you that wants a calm, peaceful, energetic life. She wants to say no. But then the head starts spinning. But what are they going to think if I don't go? What's going to happen if I say no? I really should go. Now this chatter, this noise, this stewing in your gut, guess what it's doing? It's draining your teapot. It is sucking you dry, because where your mind goes, your energy flows. So already, before you even do something that you don't want to do, your energy is being sucked dry. So the quicker that we are able to make that decision and say no, the quicker we start to preserve that energy. Right? So how do we say no? How do we say no? First of all, we have to learn to trust our gut, right? Trust that little inner whisper. I want her to be yelling and screaming and be loud and be the voice that you hear above anything else, because that's you. That's you, your authentic self. And yet that's the voice that we quieten down and push down and suck down more often than not. She is the one that gets to enjoy this life. She is the one who gets to come out of you, who's been suppressed, who's been pushed down, who hasn't been heard, who has felt like she hasn't belonged your entire life. I know, because that was me. Everything I did was for everybody else. Everything. I was so good at people pleasing. I was so good at being the good girl, at being responsible and caring, hardworking. And it's not to say that I'm not those things today, but there's a caveat, right? I will do for everybody, but I have to take care of me first, so that I've got the energy, so that I'm not getting sucked dry and I'm not going to feel those toxic emotions. Because those emotions and those characteristics of putting yourself on the back burner are actually part of the Cancer personality profile, as done by Dr. W. Douglas Brody. Such a huge thing that I discovered. And so if we are looking to lower our risk of getting sick again, lower our risk of getting breast cancer, lower our risk if you're living with metastatic breast cancer, lowering the risk of tumor growth, this is imperative that you start to take care of you first. It's not something to play with. This is something serious that we need to be doing. So we start by learning to say no to the things that are like coming up, where we're hearing that sound, that no inside, and then we start to say no. Now, Karen, how do we say no and not feel bad about it, right? Well, there's going to be discomfort. Let me say that. Okay. I'm always going to be real and honest with you. And I don't think this is such a huge transition in life that I haven't yet found a way for you to do it and it not be a little uncomfortable. But I will say this, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. The more you do it, the quicker it becomes easier. It's like practice. It's like anything else. It's like a meditation practice or a walking practice or anything like that. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. This just becomes a practice. And don't forget, we're always shooting for progress, not perfection. Right? Never perfection. It's just about progress. And so there's one simple thing, one simple way of saying no. And I'll go into some more nuanced things in our new year self-care reset, because this is going to be one of the topics that we're covering. But the easiest thing to do, and remember this, when you're learning to say no, when it's uncomfortable for you, the easiest thing to do is simply say no. That's the full sentence right there. If you feel the need to say more words, keep it short, keep it sweet. One sentence, that's it. You do not, and this is me giving you permission, okay? You do not ever need to explain your decision, your why, or anything, right? Because so often we go into, yeah, I'm just not feeling like it. I need to rest. I'm still on these meds and blah, 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 blah. And they did this week, blah, 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 blah. And it just keeps going. No, we don't need to do that. Guess what's happening to your energy while you're doing that? Right? It's energy sucking. We want the opposite. We want things in your life that are going to top up your teapot so that you can keep giving to others and not be depleted. Right? Running around with your kids because you've got the energy. Hanging out with your grandkids because you've got the energy. Taking part in family traditions again because you've got the energy and you want to. And saying no to the things that don't light you up. And so a really easy way, again, we talked about the inner barometer, but another easy way to start making these decisions is that going to give me more energy or is it going to suck me dry? Because if getting more energy in your life is a focus, or preserving the energy that you have is a focus, that is how you make decisions. Becomes really easy when you start to be aware and ask yourself that question. So, yes, it can be as simple as saying no. And in the class, we're going to talk about, but what happens when people don't want to hear the no, right? We're going to get pushback. So we're going to be talking about that as part of our self-care reset. But if you are interested in learning how to hold space for yourself, for this inner voice, your true, authentic self, and establish energy-preserving boundaries with others, then I'd love to invite you to join me for the New Year Self-Care Reset. It's a special event. I've never done it before. So looking forward to it because I get to pour into you for 2 whole hours, right? We get that. What does that mean? It means we top up your teapot for 2 hours so that you walk away feeling like you've had a spa day. You're going to feel calm, but energized. You're going to feel good. And just learning how to set healthy boundaries is just part of what we're going to be learning. Okay. Super special event. You can find the link wherever you're watching this video. You'll find the link around it, either below or above. and just click it, register. This is a paid event. It's just $37 for 2 hours of amazing self-care resetting yourself. Think of this as regrouping, refocusing at the beginning of this year. You get the replay of the event. So if you cannot join live, you will get the replay. You'll get the fun sheets, the little cheat sheets I'm going to give you so that you can have this little reset whenever you want, right? Throughout the year, whenever you want, you get to do this again for yourself because I'm sharing with you all of the tools for just $37. So, but for those of you that have been in my circle for a while, you know that when you join live, first of all, we have more fun, right? Honestly. But you also pick up energy. You're going to be picking up on the energy that I am going to be pouring into you. And so if you can make this event live, I want you to make it live. You'll get the most out of it. Even invite a friend, right? Do it together. How many people do you know that need to learn to say no, that could use some more energy, that could use some self-care, where you've said, oh, I just wish that they would take better care of themselves, because you can see it on the outside. And don't forget, you're one of those people too. You deserve to take better care of yourself. And if you're going through breast cancer, if you've finished active treatment, this is imperative for you. This is a shift that is no longer an option. This is a shift that you need to stay healthy moving forward. Okay? So again, when you're fed up of constantly pouring into others, doing for others, and you're left with nothing for yourself, this is the event for you. The New Year's Self-Care Reset. Start your year as you mean to go on. And top up your teapot. Learn how to preserve your energy. Right? Learn how to establish these healthy boundaries so that you can continue to keep using them. These are skills that last a lifetime. Excuse me. They're skills that last a lifetime. And all you need to do is join me for 2 hours. Okay? I really hope to see you there. I really, really do. Because I want to help you top up your teapot. Start 2023 as you mean to go on, knowing how to top up your teapot, knowing how to preserve your energy, knowing how to establish these healthy boundaries so that you can stay healthy and change your life. I want that for you, and I hope that you want it too. So make sure to click the link. You'll see it around this video wherever you're watching. If you need more information, if you're not seeing the link, please feel free to send me a message. You can also find it over on my website, karindelmaestro.com. That's Karin with an I. And other than that, I'm going to see you next week for next week's Heart to Heart. We're going to be continuing the conversation about preserving energy and how self-care can help you do that as we continue through this month of January. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this community. And I can't wait to have the most transformational year with you. Okay? I'm Karin Del Maestro. Thank you so much for watching. And you can find me over in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. If you're not yet in there, come join us. The community really rocks. It's so amazing. And I'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.